guys, I am back like I said I would be for my recap and review for Married to Medicine. This is season 10, episode 1 for Southern Sweet Tea. And that is exactly what we got. And we got a lot of it. If you love sweet tea, then I'm assuming you love this episode. Me, on the other hand, okay, we're just gonna get into it. We're just gonna get into it, y'all. Let me drop this down. I'm not like super thrilled about this graphic. I probably will redo it, but it'll suffice for now. I am back. Hello. I am back. I'm so excited to get into this with you guys because this is my first time tuning into Married to Medicine as it's premiering. I binged the entire thing during this off season, and actually I watched a bit of last season when it was coming on, and even the season before that, I want to say. But this is the first time I'm fully diving into it, and I'm going to be producing content from it. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited. And of course, we must give our greetings. Hello, sis. Like she said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. Please. How are you doing? Long time no chat. Just kidding. We were just chatting in my recap and review for The Real Housewives of Potomac. If you have not seen that one, make sure you double back and go check that one out too, because it is up there and we had a good conversation going. So check that out. Hey cousin, hola, ¿cómo estás? How are you doing? You were also over there and now you're over here, and I'm just so happy to keep the conversation going on what's been happening over at Bravo, or all these premieres. I'm really excited again about Sundays. We didn't really have much going on Sundays. I was watching The Real Housewives of New York, but it kind of got a little boring for me after a certain point in the season. So I am looking forward to having some new things to watch, some new and exciting things to watch on Sunday nights. Super excited about that. Y'all make sure you drop your links in the comments as well, so that anyone who's watching, you can go ahead and subscribe to my good sis and my cousin, because they produce great content as well. And they have differences in opinions, and they have their own thoughts on things. So it's always good to get another perspective. So definitely check out their content as well. But nonetheless, this episode, like I said, was titled Southern Sweet Tea. We're going to find out why it was titled that. But we pop in on everybody, we got to do our rounds, see what everybody's doing. Eugene is cutting himself up while shaping, and Dr. Jackie is working as usual. Dr. Simone was working as well. So that was good to see everybody kind of working, thriving, doing their daily routines. Started off decent, okay, right? And this also began with the trailer. I'm not going to talk about that, because if you guys haven't saw that, definitely catch that because it's been circulating for a while now. So if you're interested in that, go look at that. I guess it's supposed to be like a feel-good season. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how we feel. Then we tune into Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie down at the vault. I was like, the vault? What's that? The bank vault? Whatever. Hey, Sweet Pea, how are you? Thank you for joining us. We always miss you when you're not around. Thank you for joining us. Like I was saying, y'all know Dr. Heavenly loves her some Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie can do no wrong as it pertains to Dr. Heavenly. Where's it at? Right here. Yeah. So they're there. I really, really like that jacket that Dr. Heavenly had on. Like, if one of them can buy that jacket for me and just send it right on over here, express shipping, I'd appreciate that. Water break, sorry. But they're at the vault. I guess there's some type of event going on, obviously. So they greet each other. There's our well, I don't know. Jackie did try on a coat, but they're trying on coats and all that. And we quickly find out that they are there on behalf of the establishment's co-owner or co-partner, which is none other than, well, we didn't even get to meet the person because we were first introduced to their cheeks at first. Yeah, their cheeks. That's literally, this is the shot that they gave us. And I was like, oh, who other than Ms. Phaedra Parks herself? She is a partner of the Vault. So this was her way of being introduced to us. If you guys are not familiar with Phaedra, then I don't know what to tell you other than to go watch from, when does she appear on The Real Housewives of Atlanta? Yeah, go watch from like that season 5, 6, 3, whatever season she was on. Go ahead and watch her over there, and that'll kind of get you warmed up to who she is. But for those of us that are familiar with Miss Phaedra Parks, yeah, we already know what it's giving. And I just, yeah, it's a lot. Letting y'all know this is an account is a doc. Are you talking about your account? Wait. Oh my goodness. I'm not gonna do this with you. She is funny. She does say a lot of what we think a lot of times. She was saying something that I was thinking throughout this episode. So I'm here for it, but I can also understand when people like Toya bring up the fact that sometimes Heavenly be up there just talking about stuff, and I can see how from a friend perspective it can be a lot sometimes. So we're just gonna have to take her as she comes. I know, I want that jacket so bad. Yeah, I don't like the whole blonde. I don't like the whole hot girl want to be something that you never portrayed to us when you first came onto our screens. And I get it, everybody evolves, y'all, but y'all know y'all know what type of time Phaedra has been on lately. Yeah, okay. So she makes her debut during this scene, and they're trying on coats. They both think that Phaedra is a boss. She's that girl. She lets us know that she's been dating a Nigerian physician. She's been dating a Nigerian physician for about a year now, or over a year. We obviously don't see his face for whatever reason. So I'm really, really curious. I'm sure we'll get a picture of his actual face. Does she have it on her Instagram? I guess not. We'll get a picture of his actual face by the end of the season. I feel it coming. So, of course, Dr. Heavenly has to lend herself for advice, but Phaedra's like, girl, I'm good. You only been with one man. Okay. And I mean, I might need somebody with just a little bit more experience. I was like, ha! That was funny. That was definitely funny. And I don't know if it was right here or no. It's a little bit later, so I'll save that. But I thought that was really funny. I don't know why. If your whole claim to fame on the show is now that you are not married to medicine, but you are dating medicine, we're gonna need this guy to come around. I'm like, y'all just wanted to get Phaedra on another show, clearly, because if we don't see his face, then that's BS, because that's your only direct connection to the whole medicine, quote unquote, industry and stuff, in the medical industry. Like, clearly we need to know who this person is. So I'm gonna wait on it. Otherwise, I'm gonna definitely be writing and saying that I am disappointed that we did not see this gentleman. That's just crazy to me. But then we pan over to Cecil and Simone. They're at home. They're getting ready to host some of the other couples. And the first couple that arrives is none other than Toya and Eugene. Although Cecil and Simone are in a better place this season, they did have to let their aspirations of writing that book go so they could salvage their marriage. It was just, they couldn't do both at the same time. So I'm like, okay, whatever. That makes sense. That makes sense. No face, no case. I guess so. But I'm gonna need to see his face, y'all. I really, really do. Otherwise, it's fraudulent, in my opinion. So Toya and Eugene, they were also not doing so well last year. They had a lot of conflicts popping up and stuff, and we're trying to find their groove and stuff. So they leaned on both Cecil and Simone a lot during that time. They almost see them as family, Eugene said. So I like to see that. I think it can be a very beautiful thing when you come together with, other couples and you guys can kind of lend support and be a shoulder to cry on or a listening ear. I think that that's awesome. I hope that that's something that continues. But again, we also are on the show, so who knows? I think we all know that typically a lot of times the guys will be good, but the ladies will be inside or over here kind of going at it. And that kind of has an effect on the guys in their relationship, because it's like, okay, well, if you guys are going through stuff, then how are we going to be friends over here? Or it can get messy sometimes to navigate. So, but right now they're letting us know that ain't no mess over there. They be hanging out. Everything is good. So fine by me. They're then joined by none other than Dr. G and where's my picture? Uh-oh. The sweet tea of it all. Yep. So we finally can put a name to a face to a proper introduction. But before we dive too much into that, they bring up Dr. G and Quad. And Toya is the one that says Dr. G should be scared after the whole stuff with Quad. I kind of took from this scene that they weren't going to be completely, I feel like they were going to, sorry, y'all. It's got a weird text message. I hate group projects. Oh God, why are you blowing up my phone? Anyway, I was like, okay, I see how everyone is going to be trying to kind of back Dr. G more so than Quad. And we didn't even get Quad in this premiere. And I felt like that was weird. All we got was this little 2-second clip of Quad molding her wigs in her bathroom. We got so much of Sweet Tea. We got none of Quad. We got so much of Dr. G. We got none of Quad. So I understand that business is business, y'all, but I find that a little weird. And I find what Quad said at BravoCon, her kind of feeling like she was owed a little bit more respect. I understand what she was saying now. Because is this the type of edit they're going to get? Is this the type of edit they're going to get the entire time? Are we going to get nothing but Sweet Tea the entire time? Like, I find that kind of odd. I find that kind of messed up. I do. And I would be feeling some type of way if I was her too. And again, this is coming from somebody that understands business. But that, I didn't like that. I don't like that. I don't at all. We then, again, pan back over to Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie. Again, they are down at the vault. Phaedra invited them. They both let us know that they haven't spoken to Quad since New York. And Heavenly says that she doesn't have time to cater to Quad's ego. I'm like, so is nobody going to be supporting her this season? And I kind of got my answer to that question later on during the episode. But for now, and at this point, I'm like, okay, so everybody's kind of like, okay, whatever. Quad can feel how she feels. Let's just go over here with Dr. G and his new wife and, whatever, forget Quad's feelings or whatever. I'm like, I don't agree with that. And I'm not saying that anybody should be trying to tell anybody else who they can and cannot be friends with. But I felt like that was kind of, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'm sorry. Like I said, meanwhile, Quad was at home molding her wigs. Phaedra knows Quad through Dr. G, which checks out because that is how Phaedra made a earlier season cameo on the show Once Upon a Time, if I'm not mistaken, when Quad sought out Phaedra for legal services, attorney services and all that stuff. If I'm not mistaken, y'all let me know in the comments. But I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So again, I'm like, what? Who's like? I never want to be all, oh, gotta pick a side, because we all grown at the end of the day. But a lot of them were translating, we are team Dr. G and Sweet Tea. We are not team Quad. That's what a lot of them were screaming. And I'm like, okay, fine. If you're going to throw it out there, then I'm going to call it for what it is. And that's what I saw. I love that Dr. Heavenly was not afraid to let us know, in case we didn't know, how Phaedra gets down and how she be lying. I liked that she threw that in there. I liked that none of them were like on no type of intimidated factor or anything like that with her. I like how they didn't they weren't afraid to give her a little bit of a hard time, just a little bit. They didn't give her like a full hard time, but they weren't afraid to speak their minds. And I liked that. I wish I could play the clip, y'all. Oh my gosh, I gotta figure out how to start doing that. But I really wish I could play the clip for you guys, so you guys just hear how, I'm gonna say it, how thirsty Sweet Tea was coming up during this scene. Homegirl lets us know that she slid on in Dr. G's DMs that were booming at the time, apparently, after he got a divorce. I was like, with that voice? Okay. Anyway, DMs were booming. She slid on right through, talking about some, I got what you need. What? You got, like, the thirst was I'm sorry, but the thirst was like really real for me in this scene. And I didn't understand that like at all, y'all. I was really, really bothered by that. I wanted her to tone it down, because I had to remember who she was talking about. And it just screamed, I have a ulterior motive. Hey, this is just how I feel. She brings up the engagement party, which is going to be a hoedown Texas Western girl glam style engagement party, y'all. And I was like, okay, then they're all going to be there. All right, I got it. We can obviously deduce that Quad will not be receiving an invitation. So I'm like, okay, I see how this is going to pan out. And just like I said on my BravoCon video yesterday, I kind of see that this season, just kind of like how we see over on Potomac, how there's that division. I kind of see that there's going to be potentially some division on this show too. And I don't really like that. I kind of like, when everybody is, I wouldn't even say like getting along, but just able to kind of coexist and, come together and still give us these all hands scenes. I don't want there to be no division. It's not that fun that way. So, And let me know, y'all, did anybody else catch when Cecil tried to throw out that little bit I caught that shade. Did y'all catch that shade when he wanted to throw out the whole, I think he leveled up, talking about Dr. G? Did you guys catch that? I thought that was unnecessary. That didn't need to be said. But I'm not too naive to think that Quad will address that during the reunion, I hope, because that was unnecessary AF, but whatever. But they have a good time. They're having like this, again, triple date night in situation, I guess. So we kind of see, again, the division. But y'all, then we head on over to this boutique. Alora is graduating. She's going off to college. She is 17 now. And we know that Dr. Heavenly is not excited for that. We know how she feels about her baby girl. And I'm like, y'all cannot tell Alora that she is not cute. Like, baby girl knows she is cute. And she looked so nice trying on those dresses. I wanted to take some clips and post the pictures from this scene, but I don't know. I just kind of like I always feel a little weird about posting people's children and stuff like that. So I was like, I'm going to refrain from doing that. But she looked bomb in all those dresses. She wound up choosing one during this scene. We didn't really get too much, but we're just going to kind of be introduced to Phaedra, Heavenly, becoming an empty nester, I'm assuming, during this season. That's going to be a major point of her storyline. So I understood why they incorporated this scene into this premiere. Yeah, she looks so cute in all the dresses. Heavenly's already going crazy about it, talking about she wants her to go to a in-state school, and she doesn't want her to take the same path as her, which I was like, that's where I have to get off the bandwagon. I'm like, I don't want her to always, her being Dr. Heavenly. I don't like when she tries to, put all of her types of ideals and stuff like that onto her daughter. I like when she kind of just lets her do her own thing and all that. She might not want to take the same path as you. She might want to go to an out-of-state school. She might not want to get married right away and all that stuff. So we're gonna see where she goes. She has a really, really, really good head on her shoulders. I think we all are aware of that. We've seen her grow up on this show. So it's awesome to see her approaching adulthood and taking the next step in her life. We love to see that. And she comes out and she's like, okay, so I'm gonna meet you at the register, like have your card ready. She's the cutest thing to me. She's the cutest thing to me. And Heavenly lets us know that she could never afford this type of stuff growing up. She couldn't afford college. That's why she had to get a full ride scholarship. That's why she wants to be able to give her children the things that she was not given. And I think that's awesome. So I'm like, okay, are we going to try to tear down Alora like how MFers try to tear down Candace all the time about her generational wealth? Because it's pretty similar. Is something wrong with that? Exactly. But that was a very, very cute scene. So moving right along is the night of the engagement party, and boom, we're gonna go like this. And I'm like, okay, so yeah, as soon as she said Western Texas glam, I was like, okay, so you're doing a Renaissance themed engagement party. Like, that's so original. Okay. Woohoo. Anyway. And we learned that Sweet Tea is from a small town in Arkansas, but then she grew up in Killeen, Texas. She ain't afraid of wearing her cowboy boots, but at the same time, she's nervous to meet his friends. And I'm like, I'm assuming she's meaning the Dr. Heavenlies and the Dr. Jackies and the Dr. What's her name? Alicia. I'm assuming she's meaning all those ladies, because we obviously have already seen that she's well acquainted with both Dr. Simone and Toya. And she also has met Quad, because we find out earlier in the episode that, again, Quad and Dr. G, we know they know each other. So, of course, they've been knowing each other for like 20 years, Phaedra said. So now Sweet Tea knows Phaedra through him. I'm like, okay, well, I guess you should be kind of nervous for someone like Dr. Heavenly, who you never know what's going to quite come out of her mouth. But she thinks that it's important to get along with them. She is going to be a doctor's wife. They are doctors' wives and doctors. So she's really going to try to make an effort, I guess, to get along with them. And I'm just like, okay, we'll see how long that lasts, because again, y'all, we know that Quad is in this friend group as well. So we don't know how it's going to pan out. They didn't get their face-to-face meeting on screen yet. So we just gonna have to stick around. Hopefully we see that next week. I sound so messy right now, but I can't help it. Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie quickly FaceTime, and Dr. Jackie lets us know that at first, when she saw Sweet Tea, she was like, okay, is this like a friend, or is this somebody you used to babysit? Like, who is this? Which is code for, she's too young for you, bro. I think that was Dr. Jackie's way of saying, she's too young for you. Where did you find this girl? The daycare? Like, this is weird. I don't like it. But Dr. Heavenly says that she's actually been over to the house since Quad and him have gotten a divorce, because Dr. Jackie was like, wow, it's been like 5 years since we've been over there. And Dr. Heavenly was like, no, I've been over there, girl. I will say it looked a lot better when Quad was there, because Sweet Tea, her design skills are just not there. It looked a lot better when Quad was there. Sweet Tea's kind of a Tarjay kind of girl. I was like, oh, okay. Well, tell us how you really feel. But honestly, if you guys have not seen the little clip of their current home tour, then you guys will not be surprised by what Heavenly says. I don't think that she lied whatsoever. I do feel like she didn't do that great of a job decorating. It's a lot matchy, and there's a lot of unnecessary decor items. I like items to be aesthetically pleasing, but they also have to have some type of functionality to them. They also have to be able to serve some type of purpose other than sitting there looking cute. That's just how I am in life at this point at 29 years old. But whatever, that's their house. They like it. It is what it is. It's what we stuck looking at for the rest of the season. And I was too through when Heavenly when they got off the phone and she was like, some bye ho or whatever, because they're going to hoe down. I was like, oh my gosh, girl, stop it. But Toya is with Simone and Cecil and Eugene. They're riding on over to the hoedown. And Toya says, it's refreshing to see Heavenly making an actual effort on social media. And mainly YouTube, because if you guys have not ever watched any of Dr. Heavenly's YouTube videos, she lets us know how she feels, and that's not always so well received with the ladies of this friend group. Sometimes they get offended by what she's saying. She's almost too real, I guess, in certain moments. So Heavenly Toya does appreciate that she has been making an effort. And Simone lets us know that she bases her friendship with Heavenly off of the stuff that comes out her mouth. So anytime she wants to come through and say something that she don't like, I guess she's gonna check her on it. And that low-key happens during this episode as well, too. So those things haven't changed. Toya and Sweet Tea look like they could be cousins. You think so? You think so? Oh. I'm like a visual person. I'm trying to envision. Yeah, I guess I could see why you say that. I guess I could see why you see that. I don't dislike the girl, y'all, so don't get me wrong. This is our first time being introduced to her, so I don't want to go ahead and say I don't like her already. But like I said, it was giving a little gold digger. It was giving a little, are you only with him because of a certain financial status that he had? Like, why are you with him? I don't know. I don't know. Sweet Tea does have a twin. We are introduced to said twin pretty much. And although they are fraternal twins, they look a lot alike. And I could already tell that Kanisha twin is kind of the mouthpiece a little bit. She's or not the mouthpiece. She's definitely the brawn. And I only say that again because Sweet Tea let us know that her sister is not afraid to check a B. So her words, not mine, y'all. Her words, not mine. And this is also the scene that we get to be introduced to Dr. Alicia. And I probably should say reintroduced, because now it's all coming back to me. Wasn't this the lady who, one of the ladies that we were introduced to, was it 2 seasons ago when they took their trip up to DC? Wasn't this one of Heavenly's friends from up there? And her face even looks familiar now that I am putting 2 and 2 together. Yeah, we met her during this scene, and she wasn't afraid to let us know that no, she will not be working down at Heavenly's dental office. And if you watch my BravoCon video yesterday, you will also know from there that Dr. Alicia also is not necessarily potentially a favorite of Dr. Jackie's. Something is there with that. She runs her practice a different way than Heavenly does. So I'm very, very eager to see that. I'm very eager to see that. More so than I am the whole Quad and Sweet Tea thing. I want to see Alicia's part in the group and how that came. Dr. Jackie also lets us know that Curtis is in DR. We don't know why, but whatever. I'm just going to let sleeping dogs lie. As everyone continues to come in, they're all greeting each other. It's cool. It's fine. It's fun. Eugene has lost some weight. He has more stamina. They let us know. I'm like, I don't know why we needed to know that, but whatever. Do you guys think that Eugene looks a lot slimmer? I guess he does. I didn't really notice anything until they did the side-by-side comparison. When I first saw him, I just thought he looked like Eugene. I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. That's what he just looked like same old Eugene to me. Just saying. Phaedra also comes in, and I love again how the women aren't afraid to talk their ish. Like, they still want to be who they are, no matter if somebody else has been on TV longer than they have or has a certain reputation. They're still going to bring the same type of energy that they would bring if she wasn't present. I loved that. And I also loved when she what did she say? All I remember is the whole big Texas panties, and I freaking lost it, y'all. I freaking lost it when she said big Texas panties, or because my butt just swallows up my panties. But if you don't really got a lot of butt, then I'm like, first of all, stop body shaming people, and second of all, that was funny AF. That was funny. So I ain't mad. I'm not mad at it. Phaedra didn't piss me off during this episode, so she's decent in my book for now. I say decent because she'll never be 100% good, because we're cut from two different cloths, I guess. So she's decent in my book, okay? They have a fellow circle outside, and I think it was Cecil. Yes, it was Cecil that was like, yeah, I can tell she's good for you or whatever, because we don't even hear them in there arguing or anything like that. And I'm just like, okay, so I'm not trying to have any false dichotomy about myself right now, but I'm like, okay, are you saying that because if Quad was here instead, there would be arguing? Then I'm that's just my thoughts, y'all. That's just my thoughts. I'm like, are you trying to say that when Quad is around, a lot of stuff happens? Or like, why are you so team Sweet Pea and low-key throwing shade at Quad a lot? Are y'all catching that? You say he was stressed skinny. Yeah, something. I don't think, again, though, I didn't really, he just looked like Eugene to me. But I know, like you said, they was going through some conflicts and stuff last season. So we're just going to give him grace. Okay, guys? We're just going to give Eugene grace on this one. I didn't really get an impression of her one way or the other. Oh, me neither. Her voice was doing a lot for me a little bit, though. I can't even lie about that one. He said Dr. Jackie got him taking some type of shot. Yeah, I don't remember what he called it, but she did say that she was giving him some kind of shot, and he's on something. So, and it was the guys, I think it was Damon that pointed it out first. So I didn't notice. But speaking of Eugene, freaking Toya, man. Ooh. If I can say that Heavenly isn't afraid to be shady in her confessionals, talking about, Quad being a gold digger, although she only said that to say that Letitia, Sweet Tea, is digging for copper, because she Quad's a gold digger. She up here though, and she down here. She's low down, like super trashy, digging for copper. I was like, oh my god. Okay, Heavenly. All right, I see what type of time you're on, and I caught something, y'all. I'm not sure if you caught it during this conversation, but I caught something, and that was Dr. Alicia said something along the lines of, well, if Quad is y'all's friend, or if Quad is, if you're friends with her, then you should be checking on her. And I was like, is that her revealing her stance on the situation and her loyalty on the situation? Are we going to see Dr. Alicia and Quad kind of join forces this season? Is she going to be the only one that's really having her back and being a support system for her? Maybe I'm putting too much onto one little statement, but I'm feeling like that's I'm feeling like that's what's going to happen. I'm feeling like that's maybe what I would like to see. Maybe I'm projecting. I don't know. And I'm not going to lie, y'all. I also, in this moment, although I hate when we're always looking in the past and not looking forward, I'm just going to say it. I would be interested in seeing Mariah back, maybe. That's only if her and Claude can be cool, though. I want to see them cool together. And I feel like Mariah would be someone that'd be like, this is weird. Like, But I don't think we'll ever get that. So I'm not going to hold my breath on it. And it was Toya that actually brought Quad up during this conversation first. And this is when I had to then be objective in the situation and kind of understand why Sweet Tea was like, okay, so what we're not going to do is talk about her. What we're not going to do is talk about my man's ex. Like, that's what we're, no. That's not what we're going to do in my house. And I can't really be mad at that, y'all, because you wouldn't want to hear that either, especially at your engagement party. I don't really know if they were doing it to be malicious as much as they being Toya, because Toya is the one that brought her up originally, as much as she was being she just didn't have any consideration, I feel like, at that moment. They're gonna have to learn how to be a little bit more considerate of her feelings now that this kind of changed the dynamic of the friend group. We got exes in the group now. That's Quad House. And it looked a lot better when she was in it. I'm not, hey, you know, I'm, especially when it comes to designs, decor, aesthetic, and all that thing, like, you know, I'm always going to call it for what I see. And it looked a lot better when Quad was there. Just saying. I was going to ask you if you were covering her DUI case. Girl, what? Y'all, mind you, they're all sitting around like this. They're all sitting around looking cute, talking. And Toya is the one that brought up Quad, only to further ask that question. Why would, huh? And they're all immediately like, they're confused just as I am. Why would you bring that up? Like, oh my God. Oh, I was so confused by that, y'all. And I think I forgot to mention that this is also the time where Heavenly asks Letitia, how does she like being engaged? How do you like being engaged? And she goes on to say, I like it because I get access to the money. Get access to the money. Wow. I'm sorry. I'm going to take that for face value. I feel like that was telling. I'm not saying that she is incapable of really having feelings for this man, but I get access to the money now that I'm engaged, and that's the best part about being engaged. Shit. Quad had that house laid out. Yes, she did. And her new house is really nice too. So, I mean, she's not lacking as far as I know. So it's fine. But a point is a point. That house is not it's too, I don't like it now. She came into Quad's workspace. She shouldn't think they were never going to mention her. Oh. Sorry, that went over my head for a second. I was physically thinking, I was like, you talking about The Office? You mean on the show, obviously. Yes, she did. She came into that. So she should have already knew that that's something that was going to come up. And honestly, y'all, she knew that she was going to come up. She knew that this was going to be something that we were going to talk about. But I think that more so it was her, putting her foot down. It was her showing them, for the lack of better words, like who the boss is, showing them that she's not someone to be played with. So I can kind of, I guess, understand it, especially in this type of show and this type of group and stuff like that, I guess I understand why she felt the need to assert her dominance in this situation, if you will. But I still think that it was kind of like, girl, what did you think was going to happen? Although, just as Sweet Pea said, it was definitely Toya being messy. Like, what, girl? What? I was going to ask you if you was helping her with DUI. Girl, when have we ever talked about a DUI? She needs to stick to veneers. Oh my God. I will say Simone made me laugh with that. I was hoping that we were going to at least get through this premiere without hearing Simone screaming. But y'all, this whole scene ended in her screaming. I can't really be mad though too much because I don't know why Heavenly always needs to windmill so hard for Jackie to the point that she was saying something that was completely untrue. So I guess Letitia needed some medical assistance as far as her fibroids, and she was told to go to Simone by Dr. G because they're cool, whatever. That's his sister, sis, or whatever. They got a bond or whatever. So she went over to her, but then Dr. Simone referred her out to a specialist. Dr. Jackie is not a specialist. She's a general practice OBGYN, if I'm not mistaken. She's in the general vicinity of it. She's not specialty is not her thing. So I understood what she was saying. But Dr. Heavenly's like, girl, why would not keep the money in the friend group? Like, Dr. Jackie does it all. Like, and I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Even Dr. Jackie was like over it because she's like, I know what Simone was doing. There wasn't no shade or anything like that. I'm not a specialist, girl. Like, be quiet. I appreciate you going up for me, but like, pipe down. I don't think she should have been brought up at the engagement party, but she can't feel no type of way because of Quad. Pretty much. I don't think that was the time or place, but she needs to know real fast that Quad is going to be very much a part of said conversations. She's going to be around. It's best, honestly, for them. Ooh, do I want to go say that they should have sat down? No, they don't need to sit down, but I mean, I wouldn't have been opposed to them clearing the air and kind of just taking 2 seconds to talk amongst each other one-on-one and be like, look, we already know what it is. You know who I am. I know who you are. Let's just be cordial. We're going to have to be in the same group and we're just going to have to exist. And I don't want it to have to always be some ish every single time. I don't want him. He don't want me. Y'all together now. It is what it is. I really, really hope that occurred, but we don't know. We don't know. And this is also when, during this back and forth, Twin Sis steps in. And this is why I said before that I feel as though she's the brawn, or she's the one that's going to come in and regulate if it needs to be done. She got them right back in line, and they was quiet as a church mouse after that. I was like, ooh, okay, well, that's definitely gonna, we love sisters. We love to see sisters on these shows, and we love seeing everybody's dynamic with said sister. So, okay. And we also find out that Sweet Tea, her name is Sweet Tea. She was given that name when she was young because everyone said that she was so sweet. And then they were like, okay, so who is, so if you sweet, then she mean? Like, Hi, my love. Shouldn't you be working right now? Thank you for stopping by. I miss you. Anyway, but yeah, that's pretty much where we end with this one, y'all. Oh, actually, no, there was one quick little scene which we got like a couple clips of the ladies. Phaedra's boys are really big now. Her boys are really big. I was like, oh my God, they really grew. So we see them, and we also see that Toya thinks as though Heavenly should apologize for what she asked Sweet Tea. I don't really think that that's going to happen. I mean, she just said everything that we were thinking. I can't even say that. I don't understand why she didn't say it. Yeah, it was not the nicest thing to say, but that's what the energy she was giving, y'all. That's what she was giving when she came. I'm just saying. Anyway, but then we catch up with Dr. G and Sweet Tea again. They're on their way to get their marriage license. They're in the car, and she says that she didn't really like them bringing up Quad the other night. She didn't like them talking about her, at her engagement party and stuff like that. I understand. That's justifiable. Got it. And he tries to say that everyone was telling him don't marry Quad. And I'm like, okay, see, yeah, that's what we're not going to do, because I don't even want that conversation to turn into that. I don't even want exactly apologize for what. Like, she said exactly what we were thinking. And furthermore, Dr. G, you have no right. If I was him, I wouldn't even discuss Quad at all. I wouldn't say anything good or bad. I would just leave it where it is, because it's at this point, it's going to be your word versus her word, versus you're trying to look like you're like the good guy and that she was a problem now that you're on to a new relationship, when I'm pretty sure Quad has probably been dating other people that we have no idea about this whole time. So bye, like save that. Like, why are you talking? Like, like, you shouldn't have had nothing to say. People were trying to tell you not to marry her. People might have been telling her not to marry you. It works both ways. You see that? You see what I did there? Yes, she stays in their mouth. So honestly, maybe it's a good thing they're on the show. They only make her look better, probably. And I ain't no Quad stan or anything like that. I'm going to always call people out if they do something right or wrong in my eyes. I'm always going to say what I think. But in this particular situation, y'all, yes, Quad stays in their mouth. And I really don't think that either of them have the right to really say anything. They should just focus on themselves. That's a lot more attractive, if you ask me. It was too much watered down TNG. We didn't. And that's another thing, y'all. I didn't really appreciate the whole, like, we just got a boatload of them. So I expect next episode to be a boatload of Quad, and none of them. Because again, we really did not see any of Quad. We saw a sliver of Quad. We even got a informal introduction to Dr. Alicia. We even saw her in a whole full scene. We didn't even see Quad. So I'm like, is this what we're doing now? Okay. Got it. All right. Like, stop shoving them down our throats. That's what's going to make more people not want to see them. You need to organically bring them into the fold. Okay. You need to organically tie them in to where it doesn't seem as though we're getting so much of them and none of her, and the things that they're saying are only to make her look bad and stuff like that. We don't, what? Get out of here with that. I also realized I'm going to have to kind of do my notes differently for this show, because the editing is a little bit different with this show than it is like the regular Housewives shows and stuff like that. So be on the lookout for how I do that. Well, Quad was holding out on signing that contract, but still it was too much of Gregory voice. It was. Oh yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up. She was holding out on the contract because they didn't offer her what she wanted to be offered. So that does probably play a part into it, but still, like, it's just it still didn't translate like that. It translated more of like, you guys are trying to shove her in our throats, and we don't like it. We didn't want it. I want unsweet tea, which I actually do like unsweet tea. Anyway, but yeah, y'all, that was pretty much it for this episode. If you guys watch my next episode or my next recap and review, you will see that I want to dive into some of the confessional looks because I saw some interesting things. But for the most part, I will say everybody looked good. Yeah, everybody looked good. I can't say that they didn't. Even Sweet Tea, this is like her first season being, you know, a part of the cast and stuff like that. You know, sometimes people's first seasons, it's not always their best season, but for the most part, at least her confessional look looked good. On the other hand, she needs to get her mans together because I don't know why he had on those high waters. Totally didn't like that, but whatever. In the confessional, they was like, there's this much sock showing. I was like, see the nerdy thing, like I can't. But anyway, in both of their voices, it was a lot, like as far as that, but it is what it is. Wait, are Cecil and Simone supposed to still be getting a divorce? I thought they were. I thought that broke on the blogs that they were still supposed to be getting a divorce. I don't know. Y'all let me know. But as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this recap and review. Please don't be afraid to hit that like button. Like, don't be afraid to subscribe. I'm a nice girl, okay? I'm a nice girl, and I would love if you guys do those things, as well as check the description box. My social medias are scrolling below down here, so make sure you follow me on all of those platforms. I think I told you guys yesterday that I won't be doing Salt Lake City this week. We will not be doing a Coastal Critiques panel on Salt Lake City because I won't be able to do it that day. So we're gonna have to double up next week, and you guys should be on the lookout for that. So definitely make sure you have on your notification bell so you know when I upload. As far as any other recaps and reviews, I don't think I'll have any more this week, but I will be back next week. I will also do a pre-recorded good news only before the week is up as well. That'll be premiering, so be on the lookout for that. But overall, I enjoyed the premiere, although we were literally got nothing but Dr. G, I feel like, and Sweet Tea. I did like this review, or this episode, I should say. And I'm excited to continue to review the rest of the season. It looks like it's going to be good, and I'm here for it, y'all. So again, let's keep the conversation going down below in the comments, and shout outs to everybody who kept the chat going. My good sis, my husband even came through. I appreciate you guys. Cousin, I appreciate you. Wait, hold on. Did I say, I don't know if I even said, hey, Adornia, how are you today? I'm not sure if I skipped over you. I hope I didn't. But hello, thank you for coming through. I appreciate you for supporting. Sweet Pea was in here. Shout outs to you. I think that was everybody. Cousin, husband, sis. Yeah, I think that was everybody. Yeah. So shout outs to you guys for coming through. I'm glad you guys could catch this, especially because I had to push back the time a little bit because my Real Housewives of Potomac video went over a little bit longer than I expected it to be. But y'all, I will see you guys in the next one. And as always, don't forget again to like the video.